But listen, Miss Pugh, don't speak over me. Miss Pugh, just because you say respectfully does not mean that you get to interrupt me. That's disrespectful, right? Hang on. Listen, Miss Pugh, stop talking over me. If you want to stop talking over me.
Where is the verified claim that is being placed against my trust?
You can go back with the bailiff. Go back with the bailiff. Get your own attorney or represent.
I am the beneficiary of that estate.
You're the what?
I am the beneficiary of that estate.
You're the beneficiary of what estate? Answer my questions, please, ma'am. I'm just trying to understand. Okay.
For the record, I recognize Ms. Pugh. She's been here before.
I do as well, for the record.
And I looked into Mr. Christopher Wiley. I can't find that person as a practicing lawyer in the State Bar page, and I have not been contacted by anybody on Ms. Pugh's behalf.
All right, so Ms. Pugh, Mr. Lewis has been appointed to represent you at this point. Obviously, you know as well as anyone that you're in custody and we want to get your case taken care of. If you've hired or your family has hired another lawyer, then they have to contact the court so that we can do something with your case. And do you know if they've hired someone?
Respectfully, Your Honor, I do not agree with your appointed foreign agents, considering that the first duty is to the state and will be considered conflict of interest.
Okay, so if you don't want, the only thing I can do, I'm appointing an attorney to you to help you, right? So if you don't want a court-appointed attorney, then your only option, two things. One is to represent yourself or to hire a lawyer. So if you don't like the way it works, then you do something different. So are you, listen to what I'm saying. Are you either going to represent yourself? Or are you going to let Mr. Lewis represent you? Or are you going to hire someone?
All right, guys, get ready because this courtroom showdown starts off with pure tension. The defendant walks in armed with sovereign citizen lingo, thinking he's about to school the court on jurisdiction. But Judge Vonda isn't having it. She checks him right away. You can literally feel the shift when she clarifies who actually holds the power in this room. This isn't just legal drama, it's a full-blown clash between fantasy and facts, and it sets the stage for everything to come.
Objection, Your Honor. Respectfully, is this a court of record?
It is a court of record. So your objection's overruled.
Okay. Respectfully, Your Honor, where is the verified claim that is being placed against my trust?
It's right here. It's called an indictment. And Mr. Lewis has a copy of it and he can show it to you. So that would be the verified claim against you.
Okay. Your Honor, respectfully, Your Honor, there were writs that was filed to the case that still haven't been received.
I've received your petition for writ of habeas corpus and it's denied.
Okay. Respectfully, Your Honor, I demand to be released due to lack of evidence of stated claim and not being given the proper opportunity to obtain proper counsel to effective defense.
It's overruled. I appreciate your position, but listen, Ms. Pugh, don't speak over me. Ms. Pugh, just because you say respectfully does not mean that you get to interrupt me. That's disrespectful, right? Hang on. Listen to me. Everything you have there is overruled. And here's one of the reasons why is because you have a lawyer and your lawyer will file the appropriate motion. You're interrupting me again, which is disrespectful. So I'm going to leave Mr. Lewis as your attorney unless you choose to represent yourself or hire someone else. I'm going to give you 2 weeks to determine what you're going to do. You can go back. You can go back with the bailiff.
Or comply to your appointed
go back.
Agents.
You already said that, and that's overruled. Go back with the perfect. So, Ms. Pugh, Mr. Jeffries has been appointed to represent you. He's just been given. He's trying to get caught up real quickly on all the information and the discovery in your case. I'm going to reset your case so that he can get all of that. Once he gets it, he'll be out there to go over it with you, and we'll see if we can get an announcement at the next court date.
Fill up, guys. because now the sovereign citizen starts spinning his web of buzzwords, claiming he's a living man, not subject to corporate law. But Judge Vonda keeps calm and strategic. She lets him talk just long enough to unravel himself, then swings back with real law. This is where the entertainment meets education. Watching the gap between online theory and courtroom reality widen is just fascinating. And make no mistake, she's not letting it slide.
Respectfully, Your Honor, I do not agree to comply with any of the appointed court agents, considering that their first duty is to the state.
I understand. We've had this conversation before.
And for your record, I'll be representing myself.
So if you want to represent yourself, there's some things. Ms. Pugh, stop talking over me. If you want to stop talking over me. If you want to represent yourself, then there is a process that we have to go through, and we'll do that today if that's what you want to do. We'll get your case set for trial, and we'll go forward that way. It is highly inadvisable for you to represent yourself. Lawyers have many, many years of training. They understand the law. They understand how a trial works, because here's what happens. When you're in a trial and you represent yourself, you're expected to know and follow all of the rules of evidence, all the rules of procedure. And so you're really at a disadvantage if you don't know those things. And so you have to do everything just like the assistant district attorney would. And if you don't, you're going to be in front of a jury, and it's going to show, and it's just not going to be, it usually does not work out in your benefit. But I have to go through with you some questions first before we do that. And then if you still want to do that, then there's a couple of things couple of options, and we'll go over those as well. Okay. So I am supposed to ask you, I'm going to go through these questions. I need you to answer them if you want to represent yourself, because this is required. All right. So have you ever studied the law? Okay. Have you ever represented yourself before in any kind of criminal matter? Okay. Do you understand the charges against you?
I know we've been accused of.
Okay. And so do you know, and we've gone over before, I think, what the range of punishment is if you're found guilty on a jury? Do you know what that is? Let's see. Hold on a second. Let me pull you up here. We'll go over that again as well. The date of that allegations from June 22nd of 2021.
All right, pay close attention here, because this is where it gets wild. The defendant demands proof that the court has jurisdiction over his sovereign body. It sounds like something out of a conspiracy forum, but Judge Vonda doesn't flinch. She uses this moment to firmly reestablish that he's in her courtroom, under state law, and this isn't a place for fictional legal theories. It's a powerful reminder. Real court doesn't care about internet fantasies.
And what that means is if you're found guilty, that the range of punishment that the jury could give you is between 2 years as a minimum punishment up to 10 years in prison, anywhere in between. Do you understand? And you answer out loud just for the record.
Do I understand? No, I don't understand.
What do you not understand? So here's the thing. If you want to represent yourself, by law, you have to be able to understand these things. Otherwise, I've got to appoint an attorney for you. So you can't just say, I want to represent myself because I don't like the attorney or I don't like the process. This is the process that you're in. You live in Texas, you live in the United States. This is the law that applies to your case. So what do you not understand about the range of punishment if you're found guilty? And I'd be glad to explain it.
I don't understand because I haven't did anything wrong.
That's what a jury's for, right? And so if you say you're not guilty, then you go in front of a jury and they determine, after they listen to the evidence, if you're guilty or not. That doesn't have anything to do with if they find you guilty, you understanding that they could send you to prison for between 2 years and up to 10 years. Do you understand that part? What are you, yes or no? No, you don't understand that. So, Ms. Pugh, it's my understanding, I'm not going to allow you to represent yourself because you don't understand the law and the process. So we're on question number 4 out of 15 that I'm supposed to ask you. So Mr. Jeffries is going to stay on your case
I don't know when Mr. Jeffries on my
I don't care what you want at this point.
I represent myself.
You can't do it. All right, you can go back with the bailiff. I'm done. Go back with the bailiff.
It's not on my case.
Go back with the bailiff.
It's not on my case.
Welcome to the criminal appointment list.
Yeah, fun, Judge.
This was not meant to be any kind of punishment, I promise.
Guys, if you thought the tension had peaked, think again. The defendant tries a new trick, challenging the court to produce a signed contract proving he agreed to be governed. Judge Vonda's expression says it all. She's clearly heard this before and knows exactly how to shut it down. Her calm dismantling of his argument hits hard. This part really shows the gap between internet rhetoric and legal reality, and how confidence can't save you when facts aren't on your side. This is the moment where the defendant tries to seize control. He starts throwing around legal jargon he doesn't fully understand, trying to force Judge Vonda into a trap of his own making. But here's the twist. She flips it back on him, using his own words against him. Watching her effortlessly turn the tide is pure courtroom mastery. It's like watching a chess grandmaster beat a beginner who only learned the moves yesterday. Hold on tight, this part gets heated. The defendant ramps up his defiance, questioning the judge's oath, the legitimacy of the court, and even its name. He's spiraling, hoping to overwhelm the system with pseudo-legal confusion. But Judge Vonda keeps it surgical. She slices through the chaos with crystal-clear logic and unwavering authority. This isn't just a win for the courtroom, it's a public lesson in how not to challenge the legal system. All right, now we're in the final stretch. The sovereign citizen realizes he's out of moves. You can see the panic setting in as the judge starts outlining the real consequences. There's no loophole here, no magic phrase that will erase the charges. Judge Vonda delivers the reality check he didn't see coming, and the silence on his end speaks volumes. This is the courtroom equivalent of checkmate, and it's brutal in the best way. And here we are, the final blow. And here we are, the final. Judge Vonda delivers her decision with clarity and authority. The sovereign citizen, once full of bold claims, is now reduced to quiet disbelief. It's a powerful close to a chaotic standoff. This whole case was a masterclass in courtroom control, and a harsh reminder that ideology doesn't beat the law. If you found this breakdown eye-opening, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next one.